All right guys, so this boat behind me is a beautiful 2003 Malibu 23 VLX. This boat looks nothing like it did when we first got here. So I'm gonna show you exactly the products we used and the steps we took to bring this boat back to its best shape in over 20 years. Let's get into it. So the owner of this boat told us that he gets this detailed every year and the oxidation comes back. So most likely what that's from is previous detailers either not wet sanding and just buffing, or wet sanding and not going deep enough. Due to the fact that this is a 2003, we're not 100% sure how many times this has been sanded. So we're gonna be really careful with it and just make sure that we're not going too deep with any of the sandpaper that we're using. What we're gonna use is a DA. On the DA, we're going to be using Avalon sandpaper. We're going to be doing a 1000 grit and then a 2000 grit sandpaper to start it off and cut out all of the oxidation. After that, we're going to grab our buffer with the white wool pad from Lake Country. And with this, we use Level R, which is a heavy cut compound. We use Starks. After we go through our heavy cut compound, we are then going to put on the yellow wool pad, also from Lake Country, and with that we're going to use Elevate, which is a medium cut compound. Then to polish out the swirls, we're going to come in with a Rupes Milli. On this we have the orange foam pad from Lake Country. With that we are again running Elevate, but this time on the orange foam. We're then going to come back through afterwards and use our Hyper Hold polymer sealant. All of the compounds, polishes, and sealants that we use are from Stark Yacht Care. We've had such great experience with all of their products, so their link's gonna be down in our bio. So to start off, I'm going around and just taping off all the metals, the areas we don't want to hit with the sandpaper. And the customer wanted this decal on the back to be removed, so we're just coming in with a heat gun and a plastic razor here. As you can see, we're keeping it flat, not digging into the gel coat at all. After that, we grab some acetone, and we're just going back over those areas to make sure there's no adhesive remaining. And then I'm coming right in with our 1000 grit sandpaper and just hitting all of the small areas that we won't be able to hit with the DA. So when we're coming in with the DA, we're just making sure that we're hitting every area 2 to 3 times, spray it down with your water, and then spray it onto your pad, and then come in. I usually do a side to side, up down, side to side motion just to make sure I'm hitting everything. And then we are wiping between passes, and I'm coming right back in with the 2000 grit and just doing the exact same thing. And once the back was all sanded, moved on to the sides of the boat, grabbed 1000 grit sandpaper, went around all the details, followed that up with the 2000 grit, and then broke out the DA with the same process, hitting all the big areas. So now we're going to come in with the buffer to start bringing that shine back. So our goal is going to be put on our compound, spread it around on the first setting, which is about 600 RPM. And then what we're going to do is we are going to turn it up to 900 RPM and run it on the side. We're gonna go side to side, up, down, side to side, and then we're going to finish with the buffer flat. We're gonna turn the RPMs up to about 1500, go over side to side for one pass, and then move on to the next section. So it's important to note we're running the buffer on the side here just to not put too much pressure and heat on the emblems, and then the reason we're finishing flat is because it leaves a consistent swirl path that's a lot easier to remove with our polishers. All right, so we've made our way through the sanding and the first buff, which was with our heavy cut compound. Now we're gonna go into our first round of polishing. And for that, we're gonna be using Stark Elevate. This is a medium cut compound, and we're gonna be running it on the yellow wool pad. This is a less aggressive wool pad, and it finishes pretty nicely, takes up all of the swirls from the heavy cut compound and the white wool. With this, we're gonna be running it a little bit faster. So we're gonna spread it out like we usually do with about 600 RPM From there, we're gonna kick it up and do our working steps at about 1500 RPMs, and then come back over for our final pass at about 2100 RPMs. So I just went over the top side with the Elevate on the yellow wool pad as well. And let's check out the shine we're working with before we hop into Elevate on the orange foam. So now coming in with the polisher, we have the orange foam pad with Stark Elevate. This step is going to remove any of the remaining swirls left from the yellow wool pad and really start to bring some clarity back to the gel coat. All right, we've finally made it to the finish line. This boat is ready to get sealed up. What we're gonna be using is the Stark Hyper Hold polymer sealant. This will give the boat 3 to 4 months of UV protection and a really nice look to it. So with that, we're gonna be using the Rupes Milli, a white pad from Lake Country, just a finishing pad. And at this point, we're working pretty big sections with our crosshatch pattern. All of our corrections have been taken care of, so we're really just spreading the wax, making sure we're hitting every square inch of the boat. All right, all the wax is off, went around, hit the trailer, cleaned the tires, cleaned the interior. Let's check this thing out. We think it came out pretty good. Guys, we are all wrapped up, ready to roll. If you have any questions about the products we use, our process, or anything in general, just leave us a comment below. If you liked the video, like the video, and subscribe for more videos like this.